No doubt, Vin Diesel is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood thanks to the multi-billion-dollar Fast and Furious franchise. But did you know that the Fast and Furious star has a garage full of supercars that would make even his on-screen character, Dominic Toretto, green with envy? However, Diesel's got a taste for all cars, unlike Dom, who'd forever only swear by American muscle. With a net worth north of $225 million, it only makes sense that his garage would impress gearheads everywhere. Diesel's multi-million-dollar car collection is nothing short of a globe-trotting adventure. And today, we'd be taking you on that adventure. So join us as we explore Vin Diesel's jaw-dropping garage. And what better place to start than with Vin Diesel's personal favorite, the 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. Everyone knows Dom loves a good muscle car. Well, Diesel is no different. With its massive 454 cubic inch V8 engine, the Chevelle SS has been touted to produce up to 260 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque in its stock form. This bad boy would literally go from 0 to 60 at a fraction over 5 seconds, which makes it one of the world's fastest accelerating cars upon its release. Here's a fun fact for you. The 1970 Chevelle SS was featured in the final scene of the 2001 film The Fast and the Furious. Diesel probably loved it a lot, enough to get his own. The Chevelle isn't the only car to be featured in the Fast and Furious films, as well as in Diesel's garage. And this takes up to the next car in Diesel's collection, the 1994 Toyota Supra. Here's another throwback car that was made popular in part by the Fast and Furious films. The price record for mint-condition examples happens to keep increasing with every auction sale, and as of now, it stands at a whopping $265,000 for a non-movie vehicle. Luckily for Diesel, though, he bought his for just over $40,000. He's often claimed in his interviews that Universal Pictures had previously offered him the stunt cars driven in the filming of the Fast and Furious movies. Well, he probably never took him up on their offer, but that didn't stop him from having this beauty as a part of his car collection. If he's ever willing to get this car on the market, it would definitely be within a chance of breaking the all-time sales record for the model. We're not out of Japan just yet. Next up is yet another Japanese icon, the Mazda RX-7. Maybe Diesel just has a thing for cars featured in the Fast and Furious films, because the RX-7 also made an appearance in the first installment of the franchise. The RX-7 has been an absolute hit with street racers and tuners across the globe since its debut back in 1993. And while Diesel is none of that, he's still a car lover. The car's special rotary engine made sure it had an exhaust note quite like nothing else on the market. Since its launch in America, the RX-7 has always caused a stir, even winning Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year award in 1993. So you just know, Diesel had to get one for himself. The actor's RX-7 is rumored to be even a rare one, a 2x2 hatchback model. While it's obvious Diesel is a fan of the classics, it doesn't necessarily mean all of his cars are. And with that, we move to Diesel's next ultimate car, a 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Van 1500. The Fast and Furious franchise always makes it all about family, and off-screen, it seems like the cast share the same values. So much so that it was Tyrese Gibson, the actor playing Roman Pierce, who gifted Diesel his $43,000 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter Van 1500. The vehicle might not have the vintage appeal of the other cars in Diesel's collection, but that doesn't make it any less of a beauty. And as a cherry on top, the van's spacious interior should give Diesel enough room for trips with the family. A muscle or sports car isn't going to give you that. Diesel's car collection is mostly Japanese tuner cars and muscle cars, but it turns out the actor also has a thing for German super sedans. At number 6, the BMW M5 E60. Now, if you're a fan of cars, or even the Fast and Furious movies, then you should know the M5 E60 made its mark in the franchise's 6th installment. Well, when the cameras turned off, Diesel knew he needed to have one of these in his garage, and he did just that. The E60 Generation M5 features an aspirated S85 V10 engine that produces 500 horsepower and propels the car from 0 to 62 in just 4.7 seconds, making it one of the fastest four-door cars in its time. Now, many have said that the M5 E60 is a flop due to some major reliability issues its engine suffered, but that doesn't seem to faze Diesel. Not every vehicle in Diesel's garage has got to be fast and rare, but that doesn't make it any less than the other supercars in his collection. Next up, the Land Rover Range Rover. Diesel's a family man, which makes this car an absolute necessity. This unremarkable Range Rover is more than ideal for taking the family on trips. Plus, the British SUV has built up quite the reputation for excellent driving dynamics over the years. However, the same can't be said about its reliability. Regardless, it's remained the ideal ride for celebrities everywhere. Even the late Queen Elizabeth chose to have one in her private estate. If it's good for the Queen, then it's obviously good enough for Diesel. Well, for the family cars, it's time to talk antique. And that brings us to the next classic in Diesel's garage, the 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. Another muscle car from the Fast and Furious franchise that Diesel just couldn't resist getting for himself. The actor not only owns one, but it's quite easily one of the most valuable cars in his collection. The Daytona rose to fame back in the 1970s for being exceptionally rapid in NASCAR, winning 6 races between 1969 and 1970. Unfortunately, only 503 models of this bad boy were ever built, and existing examples are highly coveted. Just like the Fast and Furious movies, this muscle car has zero problems in terms of performance. Equipped with a 7.0-liter Hemi V8 engine, it produces 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. A real muscle car right there. And he still has others way more impressive. One Dodge Charger was so good that Diesel knew he had to get a second. Only that this time, he didn't get it for himself. At third place, a 1970 Dodge Charger Tantrum. A classic Dodge is already every gearhead's desire. But Diesel's isn't any ordinary Charger. His 1970 Dodge Charger Tantrum was gifted to him by his production crew for his 52nd birthday. And here's where it gets even better. It was custom built by Speedcore Performance with a twin-turbo 9.0-liter Mercury Marine racing engine under its hood. This absolute beast is capable of producing up to 1,650 horsepower, yet it has a 6-speed manual transmission. Calling this Dodge a tire shredder would actually be an understatement. It also doesn't disappoint in terms of design. In fact, not much is carried over from the original 70 Charger, which makes this muscle car absolutely invaluable. Well, nothing describes invaluable better than the next supercar in Diesel's garage. Cars were never meant to take to the skies. Well, that didn't seem to matter when Vin Diesel defied the laws of physics and drove the 2014 Lykan Hypersport through 3 buildings in Fast and Furious 7. Well, that iconic scene was all the convincing Diesel needed to get one for himself. At our number 2 spot, the 2014 Lykan Hypersport. Fun fact, there are only 7 examples of this model in the world, and the actor has one of them sitting in his garage. The features of this supercar only makes it more special than it already is. Diamond-crusted LED lights for a lavish finish, a variety of rare stones available at your request, a 3.7-liter twin-turbocharged flat-6 engine designed by RUF, delivering up to 750 horsepower. All this and more for $3.4 million. And finally, we've made it to the top of our list, the most valuable vehicle in Diesel's garage. Stealing an expensive car is no easy feat, but to do so from a train at top speed is even more unbelievable. In Fast 5, the 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Grand Sport was a piece worth stealing from a running train by Dom Toretto. Well, it seems even Diesel adored the car that much as well. And with that, we've reached the most expensive vehicle in Diesel's collection, a 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray Grand Sport. Well, in reality, Diesel couldn't steal one from a running train, so he instead bought one. And the sports car retails at over $7 million. Wondering why it's so expensive? Well, for one, it's a rare masterpiece, as only 5 examples of the model were even built. Plus, it's equipped with a powerful V8 engine with a wheelbase spanning 98 inches. This classic ride is a true masterpiece, the most valuable antique in Diesel's collection. And with that, we've reached the end of today's video. If you enjoyed our video and you're a fan of expensive garages, don't forget to subscribe to see more just like this.